Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga is a masterpiece made out of Lego that only occasionally crumbles due to bugs. Of course, this isn't the first Lego Star Wars game, this is the fourth or maybe even fifth. There have been a lot of them and they've always been great fun. They've always been loved by audiences everywhere. But this game just sets whole new levels, whole new standards for Lego Star Wars games and Lego games in general. Now, of course, this game is based on the Skywalker Saga, so that is episodes 1 to episode 9, with each episode consisting of 5 levels. Now, each of these levels is about 10 to 15 minutes long, which could be considered worrying. It could be considered too short of a game, because when you added that all together, you were getting around 10 hours of playtime for 9 episodes, which can seem a little bit short. However, they put this game together very cleverly, as between each mission, between each level, you have to travel to the next mission, or you have to complete a little sub-mission before you can start the next mission. That could include a battle, that could include flying somewhere, that could include, going and talking to a certain character, getting clues as to where you need to go in order to start the next mission. So it adds about like another 10 minutes between missions, and you travel around and you find stuff, and it ends up lengthening out every single episode, and it's geniusly put together considering each mission was a bit shorter than we would have expected and hoped for. Now, on top of the missions and the main story, there is loads of collectibles. Kyber Bricks are put in there, and there's over 1100 Kyber Bricks. There's so much to collect. You get them for completing missions, for getting true Jedi, and you just find them scattered around locations when you're in free roam. And there's several on each and every planet in the game, of which there are over 20 planets, I think. And of course, you want these Kyber Bricks because they allow you to upgrade your characters. They've added a whole level system here, so that allows you to, deal more damage and, use your force abilities better. And it's very good, and that, of course, is what adds the replay value, as it always has done in previous Lego Star Wars games and Lego games in general, is you go back because you want to collect everything in every level, every secret, every, hidden thing, in order to, get your favorite characters or favorite ships and vehicles. I gotta say, the first playthrough, just, playing through the levels with the story characters, not having free play unlocked, was so much fun, just because of the fact that it's felt really immersive, because you're playing with the intended characters and you're experiencing the Star Wars story in a new way. And the prequel trilogy especially, it's my favorite trilogy anyway, but it was so much fun just because of how many Jedis there are, how many planets there are, and there's just so many great boss fights as well. The original trilogy was great fun too as well, of course, seeing that remastered in high definition Lego, the environments are really impressive along with the voice acting, and it was great to experience that trilogy again as well. However, the sequels did feel bland compared to the rest, whether that's just down to my distaste for the sequels, or whether it's just they just weren't as good in the game. I think they're not as an imaginative trilogy compared to the other two trilogies, which had very iconic locations and iconic characters. So they feel a little bit bland when you play through them. They weren't anywhere near as funny or exciting to play through. But I gotta say, this game made me laugh more than any game has ever made me laugh. It is very, very funny, especially if you are like a hardcore Star Wars fan. You're gonna understand every single little joke that's thrown in there, and it's going to make you just laugh a little bit. And a lot of it is silly humor, but it just works, especially if you're a fan of the franchise, because they're poking fun at things that we all know about, and then they're putting a funny twist on it in all these episodes with characters saying these things, and it is very well executed and very funny. Here's a few that kind of took the cake for me, that really were the standout jokes.
Seen that new DT-16?
Yeah. I'm sorry. He just...
What was that?
Nah, it's nothing.
Maybe it's another drill.
An urgent message from the lab. We dropped a flask on the floor, and there's glass and goo everywhere. And some of the glass is in the goo, and we need you to come and clean it up. Okay, thanks, bye.
Of course, in terms of scale for this game, it is on a entirely other level, especially when you look at, say, the complete saga, the original Lego Star Wars game. It's, obviously you have the hub which is Mos Eisley Cantina, and then you just enter the levels, and there's nothing really outside of that. You can't just go to a world and explore it. Here you can. Like I said, there's over 20 planets. You can just fly around and land at them and explore, and it's so much fun. There's so much to explore. There's so many secrets, and you know, the other day I spent about 2 hours on the planet Kashyyyk, just looking for all the collectibles. It might have even been longer than 2 hours. I was on there a while, you know, trying to navigate it, trying to find the collectibles, trying to complete side missions, and just trying to get like 100% on the planet. And then of course you do actually have to go to space as well, the atmosphere of the planet, in order to find some missions up there. I mean, the complete Saga will always be cherished. You know, it's a very nostalgic game. It is iconic. We all grew up with that. We all loved it, but this app just outdoes it in every way. It is such a huge improvement, not because that game was bad, but it's an old game, and this is just taken, you know, Lego games to new levels. I mean, the ability to travel to planets, the improved camera angle that brings you a lot closer to the characters that you're playing with, it really makes the combat feel better. And the combat also even has like a form of complexity to it now. Like, it's still fairly simple. You're gonna win the boss fights, but you do actually have to think about your attacks more. You have to approach them differently, and there's more than one way to attack now. It's not just hit, hit, hit. You can throw your lightsaber, you know, you can do different attacks like air attacks, slam attacks. You know, you actually have to, you know, build some combos in order to defeat the characters, and that's what makes it so much fun to play. Like, boss fights are actually thoroughly enjoyable, and they're not just a quick thing. You know, they could take a few minutes actually to deal with your boss fight. The puzzles are enjoyable too. Catching the Kyber Bricks and collecting them is never actually that easy. For some of them, you do actually have to think about it a bit. Some I've been absolutely stumped on and just haven't had a clue how to do it. I mean, when you realize what the solution is, it's simple, but sometimes finding the solution is the hard part, and it's good because it just draws it out. It actually makes you think at times. And alongside collecting the bricks and stuff, you can find side missions such as bounty hunter missions, which are something I didn't expect for this game. I didn't know they were going to put something like that in here, but you will have to talk to a certain character, and they will say they need, you know, to bring someone back to the planet, and that will involve you getting in your ship, flying to the planet they're talking about, and then going searching for this person, and then bringing him back to the planet they were at originally. It's good fun, and that allows you to unlock a new ship, a new character, a Kyber Brick, whatever it may be. I could go on and on about what's good about this game, because there are so many just great things about this game. You know, I haven't even mentioned the unique dialogue you get between certain characters. Like, if you're free roaming and you have two certain characters equipped that have some sort of history maybe with each other, or two characters that would be interesting if they met, you'll get a unique piece of dialogue there, which is just, you know, great. And it's nice little jokes that you don't expect, but then they just throw in there. They really covered every angle here. But yeah, pretty much everything about this game is great. There are some bugs though, unfortunately. The bugs aren't too bad to start with. They were just little ones, you know, they weren't awful, but then as I've played more, I've had a few bugs that have caused me to have to leave levels or restart the game. It's mainly just having to leave a mission and come back sort of thing, where, you know, the level will freeze, especially if I'm in free play mode, for example. It can't handle the fact that I'm not playing with the characters it's meant to be played with, so it does struggle there. It's not awful though, you know, it's not a big deal, but sometimes if you're midway through a mission, you do have to leave and come back, which can sometimes be a bit of a bummer, but it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like the missions take forever. But you know, the scale of this game, I'm not surprised. Obviously it got delayed so much, so they were probably already on like a bit of a schedule to really like not delay it again, so they just had to get it out there. I can tell a lot of work got put into this game. However, a patch would be nice just to iron out these bugs, but I'm sure it won't be too far away. I'm sure they know and are aware of the bugs that people are coming across. Honestly, I had a blast with this game, and I still am having a blast with it. You know, I play it for like a couple hours, you know, each day, just getting more collectibles, completing more missions. You know, it's really good fun, and it's just highly addictive. It's been a while since I've had a game that I pick up and I struggle to put down. It's definitely the ultimate Lego game, and it's really only let down by the fact that the bugs and the fact that the sequel trilogy just wasn't that fun to play for me. I'm not sure if it's going to be for other people, but it doesn't really compare to the prequel trilogy, which is the standout, and then the original trilogy I put in second place, and then the sequel trilogy, yeah, it's just not that fun to replay. Even the planets aren't as fun to explore because they feel a bit recycled, and that's not down to this game, that's just down to the people that made those movies. Either way, Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga is pretty much perfect. It's so much fun, and It's well worth playing. I would give this game a 9 out of 10. Thank you all for watching. If you played it, let me know what you think about it. If you want to see what it's like, I've got a few videos on the channel. I played Revenge of the Sith and The Last Jedi, unfortunately. But you know, the two ends of the spectrum there for great movie and not so great movie. But if you want to check those out, they're on the channel. And yeah, I've been Joe Squared. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.